Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great day for independent media. Alex Jones wins. A judge has blocked The Onion's purchase of Infowars, basically saying, you broke the rules, you can't do this. So for those that don't know the story, Alex Jones's Infowars was to be put up for auction, only it wasn't really an auction. It seems like, according to news reports, that the family of the Sandy Hook victims had a deal made with The Onion where The Onion, and this is the weirdest thing. Okay, let me slow down. Here's how it's supposed to work. Alex Jones gets sued, loses, whatever. It's an old story. It's complicated. Fine. He's got to pay a massive debt of $1.4 billion, some ridiculous amount. So they're going to liquidate his assets. They say, we'll do an auction. Here's how bankruptcy auctions are supposed to work. Everybody gets to bid. One guy says, I'll give him 5. I'll give him 10. I'll give him 20. I'll give him 30. Whoever has the highest amount wins. Only at the last minute, it was reported that at the last minute, the individual that was running this auction decided, you know what, we're going to do single bids only. Submit how much you're willing to pay for this in private, and then we're going to decide who we think should win. And apparently there was one company associated with Alex Jones that offered, $3.5 million or whatever. But they say, but The Onion offered 4 something. As it turns out, the reason why it's being blocked is because The Onion said, we'll give you all of this money and we'll pay you the money from what we're buying. And it's like, wait, hold on. You're saying we're going to give $4 million for Infowars, and that $4 million is going to come from the sale of the things we are acquiring at Infowars. That is to say, I'll give you nothing, I'll take it for free, sell everything, and then give you the money. That's not how auctions work. And I know I'm not nailing it perfectly, but that's the general idea. So Alex Jones comes out and says they're not going to allow this to happen. The Onion is making this joke. They're gloating, saying, haha, we got Infowars. But didn't happen. Not that I think it really matters. Okay, guys, I love the media inside baseball stuff because I run a media company. That's right. Chief Executive Officer Tim Pool can tell you all about how the media works. You cannot stop Alex Jones. It is impossible. Now, you can annoy him and you can lower his standard of living, but this dude's going to be rich for the rest of his life. Nothing will ever change that. He already launched the Alex Jones Network. There's nothing you can do about it. And so this is really just PR nonsense. But fine, if we win the PR battle, we win the PR battle. There is other news, too. I mean, everyone's talking about Brett Cooper or the Daily Wire quitting. And I'll say that for another segment, but I really, really do enjoy talking the inside media baseball. So there's a lot to talk about as it pertains to Alex Jones, first and foremost. We do have a lot of other news today to get to. CNN reports the bankruptcy judge has blocked The Onion's winning bid for Alex Jones's Infowars conspiracy platform, citing concern with the auction process, which he says left money on the table. Oh, interesting. See, the judge is correct. If you do an auction where you're like, everybody gets one bid in private, then you're not going to get the maximum value. I got to be honest. When I heard that the winning bid was like $3 million or $1.75 million, it was 1.75. Are you kidding me? I'm going to buy Infowars. Look, a guy who owns a local auto dealership could afford to buy Infowars if this is the number they're putting it at. No disrespect to Alex Jones. So let's read more. Quote, I'm going to not approve the sale to the purchaser. I think there's a great lack of clarity here, Judge Christopher Lopez, a bankruptcy judge for the Southern District of Texas, said during a ruling on Tuesday. Lopez said the process, while well-intended, simply did not maximize value in any way based upon the record before me. Last month, a court-appointed trustee said the satirical news site won the auction to acquire Infowars' parent company, Free Speech Systems, which was sold off as part of a defamation settlement after Jones falsely called the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre a hoax. I would also add many, many, many other people did do that too. It was wrong to have done it, but it's pretty wild that they're just nuking Alex Jones over it. We get it. It's political. The Onion's bid was backed by the families of 8 victims of the school shooting and 1 first responder. According to court documents, the Onion, via its parent company Global Tetrahedron, offered $1.75 million in cash, along with a credit from the Connecticut families, who offered to forego 100% of their portion of the winning bid to support the effort, valuing the bid at $7 million. You see, they basically said, this is so weird. That's why it got shut down. We're going to give $1.75 million for this company. We're not going to bid any further, and we're going to use the debt the company has to them as cash. That makes no sense. 100% to forego 100% of the portion of the winning bid How does that get you to what, 7 million? Hold on. If you offer 1.75 million and they're going to forego 100%, the best case you have is to double that. To say it's going to be 3.5, that makes no sense. The one other competing bid at 3.5 in cash came from First American United Companies, which is affiliated with Jones and operates his lucrative online nutritional supplement store. But Lopez said he took issue with the auction process. The court-appointed trustee in the case, who had wide discretion to handle the auction and chose the winner based on his own judgment, had initially said there would be a live auction in which anybody could offer more money. But that process was then changed to sealed best and final bids. After the Onion was declared the winner, Jones and First United American Companies sued to stop what they called a Frankenstein bid because of the credit pledge by the families and other complaints about the auction process. A 2-day hearing took place with witnesses called to discuss the auction process and the bids involved. The testimony stretched late into the evening on Tuesday when Lopez ruled at nearly 10:30 p.m. Central Time. Well, Lopez said he had no problem with the makeup of the Onion's bid and that everyone acted in good faith. He believed the trustee left a lot of money on the table, or potential for a lot of money on the table, potential for a lot of negotiation on the table because of the auction process and because other bidders did not know about the competing bids. Lopez said the trustee should scratch and claw for every last dollar. Yes, make it a live auction. Then the Onion's going to say 1.75 plus the family's offer debt. And then someone's going to go, I offer 2. Okay, what? How are the families offering their personal debt in separate stakes? It makes literally no sense. Jones was previously ordered to pay nearly $1.5 billion to the families of Sandy Hook. And the funny thing is, they actually requested the GDP of France. I am not joking. They wanted the GDP of France from Alex Jones. Again, not a joke. Not like literally taking it from France. They wanted the equivalent of the gross domestic product of the entire nation of France. 1.5 billion may as well be. This reminds me of Austin Powers when he's like, he goes he goes back in time in part 2 and he's like $100 billion. And they'll start laughing, being like, what? That money doesn't exist. That's basically what it feels like. You're not going to get $1.5 billion from Alex Jones. This is so dumb. I hope, and we'll see. I hope Harmeet Dillon she's going to be a counsel specializing, I think she'll be working for the DOJ in civil rights. I hope she goes after this process and this court hearing. And I hope they can delay this until January when, or whenever she does get in. But I don't know that any of that stuff would happen. I feel like it's very pie in the sky. I don't know that anyone's going to prioritize anything for Alex Jones. And I hope they would. I wish they would. They're going to say he has dragged his feet on paying any of that judgment. Even his court records show he continued to spend tens of thousands of dollars a month. He's certainly entitled to spend his money. This is the funny thing about bankruptcy, you guys. They're not going to get money from this dude. Okay, things like this will happen. But when it comes to debts, you have a triage of debts to be paid. Okay, so Alex Jones is going to pay other debtors first. Creditors? I don't know, whichever one. He's not getting credit from them, but he owes them money. And so if you end up owing someone money, and they demand it from you, but you have other people in line, it's triage. Let's put it this way. Let's say you get sued by 3 companies. Who gets the money? Yeah, it's going to come, first serve. They say everything from the platform, studio equipment, online dietary supplement store, a Pterodine armored truck, wow, its social media accounts, and even a Winnebago motorhome was up for sale to the highest bidder. Jones had used Infowars to spread some of the most disturbing and disgusting lies and conspiracy theories into public discourse, and he enriched himself with millions of dollars in the process, profiting off of a commerce engine he built off of the fear that he peddled on his platform. Ben Collins, the CEO of The Onion, which is just so perfect, by the way, because he used to work for NBC News and he literally just made things up all the time. So it's no wonder The Onion hired him, but he's not funny. So whatever. He said in a statement that they're deeply disappointed. So let me actually just pull up the statement. I think I have the statement right here from old Fake News Ben. They call him Fake News. He makes it up. He says a statement from The Onion about Infowars. We are deeply disappointed in today's decision, but The Onion will continue to seek a resolution that helps the Sandy Hook families receive a positive outcome for the horror they endured. Hey, he's lying. A positive outcome. What does that mean? If the Sandy Hook families actually wanted to get paid, then they would let the highest bidder purchase Infowars and they would take the money. So what they're offering up is forgiving debt in exchange for The Onion buying the platform. I don't think that's good faith at all. I think that's weird backroom dealing. They're not getting any money. They're forgiving debt for a political action This is ridiculous. I disagree. He says, we will also continue to seek a path towards purchasing Infowars in the coming weeks. It is part of our larger mission to make a better, funnier internet, regardless of the outcome of the case. We appreciate that the court repeatedly recognized the Onion acted in good faith, but are disappointed that everyone was sent back to the drawing board with no winner and no clear path forward for any bidder. And for all those as upset about this as we are, please know we will continue to seek moments of hope. We are undeterred in our mission to make a funnier world. Now that this is happening, I'm kind of feeling like maybe I should get in on that bidding process. Although I really am not sure that with a real bidding process, Timcast could compete. I got to tell you, if it's what are they saying? 3.5 million? That's competitive. We could get up in that. I don't know if I want to own Infowars, though, to be completely honest, because it's a question of like, what do you do once you have it? And a lot of people have said buy it and then hire Alex Jones to run it. And I'm like, that's a good idea, too. It'll make a lot of money. You know what I mean? But I think what's going to end up happening with the new bids, you're going to get the Onion offering more money. They're going to figure out some way to raise the stakes. But I got to tell you, Onion doesn't have the money to compete. They do not. When I saw that the Onion won, I didn't believe it because I'm like, they don't have the money to compete with this. I know what their ratings are. I know their general estimated revenue. They may have investment revenue. I shouldn't say revenue, but investment resources. I don't know how they pay that. Now, you take a look at Timcast, and I gave you the numbers, all of it yesterday. I can tell you all about our metrics, our numbers, and then you can surmise how much money we're making. Though we don't really give out too much information on memberships, you can probably discern that based on our Discord server and all that stuff. So we could easily afford to put in a competitive bid. It would just strain us to an extreme degree, and I don't know that we actually end up winning. And all that we may end up doing is driving up the price for someone who actually seriously wants to buy and run it. They're going to say, we'll scroll down here, pay his debt. It's not clear what happens next for Infowars. Lopez ordered the court-appointed trustee to go back to work on what he wants to do next, although he noted he doesn't think it makes sense to open it up again for another auction. I'm going to have to get a lot more comfortable before folks start spending a bunch of money, and we have another 2-day hearing questioning business judgment, he said. Cry more. No matter the outcome of the sale, Jones still owes more than $1 billion to the families, although he has appealed the ruling. On his show on Tuesday evening, Jones celebrated the decision, saying, "We can celebrate the judge doing the right thing with the most ridiculous, fraudulent auction in human history." Well, we'll see, my friends. But I got to tell you, it ain't all just about Alex Jones. I want to throw in a little bit here to mix it up and celebrate. This is the end of the corporate press. Alison Camerota, New Day star, to exit CNN. She got fired, probably. Vox terminated their agreement with Taylor Lorenz. We are standing before us in a new era. The corporate press is crumbling. The woke reporters are losing. And the Onion, you're not funny. And, you know, it must be really, really embarrassing for someone like Ben Collins and a lot of these liberals to wake up and realize y'all are on the wrong side of history. Because these people care the most about it. See, you know, maybe they're going to make some ideological claim where they say, no, just because everybody's wrong doesn't mean we change our minds. And I respect that, I do, but you're wrong. My view is, look, I know Joe Biden beat Trump, but Trump in 2020, he got more votes than any sitting president. We could see that it was not about giving up. It was not that we were on the wrong side of history or anything. It's actually, we were winning. When Trump won in 2016, I didn't support him. By 2020, I did. In 2016, Trump did not get the popular vote and won with, was it 62 million votes? By 2020, he jumped another 12 million votes, showing a massive swing in Trump's direction. But there were procedural questions. This leaves it up to it's questionable as to what is the right side. The battle must ensue. Well, it came to its resolution with the re-election of Donald Trump and a massive and overwhelming victory for the Republicans, Donald Trump, and a crushing defeat for Biden and Kamala Harris, indicating that the Onion, try as you might, you got your market share, I get it, but you're on the wrong side of history. And so for me, I'm feeling pretty good. For the folks over at The Onion, it must be embarrassing to try and pander to the wrong side of history. That is, these liberals celebrating the corporate press and their narrative machine garbage and The Onion, which hasn't been funny in decades. They did it. They had two. The Onion's had two funny articles. Two. In the past, 10 years. I'm not kidding. The first one was, what was it? It was, let me pull it up for you because they deserve credit. Biden aged The Onion. That one's really good. Stress of presidency already ages Biden 10 years. And this one actually was really good. And it shows a mummified corpse. Bravo, The Onion. This is from November 7th, 2020. And then the other one was Andrew Yang, time travel. That one was pretty good, too. This one was 2019. Naked Andrew Yang emerges from time vortex to warn debate audience about looming threat of automation. That was a good one, especially back then because Andrew Yang was like, automation is really, really bad. And so they're like, he comes from the future, and Yang's funny. Disappointment in the long run. But hey, look, guys, y'all can cry and whinge about it, but The Onion's not funny. I mean, let's just go to the front page of The Onion right now. Like, is anything going to be funny on it? Emotional nation gathers outside Main Street TV store to watch monster truck land on smaller truck. What? Okay, I guess. What's the joke? I holding their loved ones close in astonishment. They witness history-making broadcast. I don't. Okay. Sure. Pompous geese fly in cursive V formation. Okay. Well, all right. I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Here's Biden hanging from a cliff. Biden addresses nation while hanging from branch on side of cliff. Oh, okay. I got to be honest. I don't understand what they're trying to say. Maybe it's meant to be for the lowest common denominator. Whatever. Okay. 12-year-old spends entire hiking trip fantasizing about which video game he'll play when he gets home. Okay. Glowing, pulsating hair product takes control of Gavin Newsom's thoughts. All right. Get a chuckle out of that one, I guess. His nose is bleeding. I'll give him that one a little bit. Oh, this is from January of this year. Wow. That's an old one. All right. I'm going to pull up Babylon Bee. Not that I think that everything the Babylon Bee does is going to make me laugh. Don't get me wrong. But let's see what they've got. Let's see what Babylon Bee's got. They got a January 16th. Trump tells Trudeau he won't annex Canada if they admit their bacon is just ham. That's pretty good. I'm not laughing at my hardest, but haha, right? We're doing great, aren't we, Mr. Friskers? Mutters masked Taylor Lorenz petting antique taxidermied cat. Okay, that's pretty good. So, look, I know the left is going to be like, you're just biased, just like the Babylon Bee. Oh, come on. Taylor Lorenz is nuts, and she's a cat lady. Michael Bay hired to direct megachurch Christmas service. Meh. I get the joke on that one, though. Man struggling to understand how God could let good things happen to bad people like him. Yeah, I do get it, but, I'm not really laughing that hard. It's simple. Babylon Bee has a lot of bangers. They get a lot of good ones. But here we go, baby. Cable TV news is done. Alex Jones wins. We'll see where this goes. The battle is not over. Or I should say the war is not over. The battle is certainly currently in Alex Jones's favor. Slate says Comcast's $7 billion spinoff of its cable TV property signals the accelerating decline of traditional television and a brutal reckoning for the media industry in the new Trump era. On Tuesday, the notorious telecommunications firm Comcast confirmed that it would follow through on a dramatic proposal it made to investors last month to officially sell off almost all of its cable TV properties in a $7 billion deal. The purge will affect a large chunk of Comcast's overall media portfolio, keeping only the core of NBC Universal's brand, home to NBC, Peacock, Telemundo, and Universal, and the reality TV empire Bravo. Meanwhile, over the course of a year, CNBC, E! Fandango, The Golf Channel, MSNBC, Oxygen, Rotten Tomatoes, Sci-Fi, and the USA will all be severed from 30 Rock, packaged into a publicly traded company, and with the working title SpinCo. Ooh, really? The one thing that comes to mind is Ding Dong, the witch is dead. The machine has shattered. Things are better than ever for us over here. Life is good. We're doing crazy things, but I do want to stress. And I do have a lot more to talk about in the industry that I'll get to in a later segment. I'll talk about the Brett Cooper stuff and Daily Wire and my thoughts on the inside baseball. But I will tell you this, my friends. The news is a churning. The big industries, the cable TV news giants, Disney, Fox, etc., they want podcasts and they want YouTube. So I warn all of you, small ships sailing the high seas, the East India Trading Company is on its way. And your little pirate, corsair, privateer, whatever you got going on is in trouble. And this is my big concern. Well, we can all sit here and say, things are good for the indie, the little guy right now. Be warned. We may see these big companies, Disney, for instance, they step into the field and they say, Trump won because of podcasts, because of Joe Rogan. We need to be in this space. Now, there's good and there's bad. The good news is, your favorite independent personality is going to make a lot of money. And that's good for them, and it's good for their worldview. But here's the concern that I see. You'll get a big corporation backed by the media conglomerates of liberal and globalist persuasion. And they're going to say, it's time to put $1 billion into YouTube podcasting. You will be crushed. And it's going to turn into Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever. They want YouTube. They want the space. First thing they're going to do is they're going to try and buy up the little guy. If you don't, look, a lot of these creators are going to be like, I'm good. And I've talked to them. We've tried signing talent. And they're going to say, nah, don't. I make good money. I'm like, okay, so be it. But I'm warning all of you because I've been there, done that. They're going to step into the space. They're going to cut backroom deals with big advertisers. They're going to tell advertisers this. It's going to be amazing. They're going to build a portfolio. Let's just pick any massive media corporation. They're going to go to 30 prominent personalities, and they're going to say, they're going to tell their managers, go sign these guys. They're going to go to them and they're going to say, we are going to make you a beautiful deal. They're going to find talent. They're going to cast talent. There's going to be smaller independent channels and people who don't want to run their own companies. While as many of these independent personalities are running their own businesses and taking care of everything, they're going to come in. They're going to sign a person who has a couple 100,000 subs. They're going to say, we're going to put $1 million in marketing behind you. We will make you the biggest show. Then we're going to cut backroom deals with the advertisers so they stop advertising through YouTube. And then we tell YouTube if they want to cut, they've got to put our shows on top. I am warning you, this stuff's coming. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But this is my prediction. The big networks, realizing the cable TV is dead, are not just going to cease to exist. They're not just going to give up. They got carriage fees and they want that game. They can go to YouTube and say, we're going to give you $50 million a year off of our ad rev for prominent placement of our shows at the top of your front page. YouTube then says, okay, in the podcast and news section, we'll make sure the top 8 channels are always going to be our video partners. Have fun. So I think something's got to give, but we'll see. We got more coming up. Smash the like button, share the show with everyone you know. Next segment will be at noon, and we will see you all then. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast.